7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 316. I'm your host, Travis, here, and today we are going to be covering our Unadilla wrap-up show here. Sorry to the members here. We're having technical difficulties, and in fact, I'm all flustered here. I'm all over the place. Co-host bailed out. Seth is having issues, so he's not in the corner with me. There's a lot going on, so let me grab the cord. We got to call Eric Grandal here. Before we get started, though, I want to thank Rev X Products for presenting the show. Make sure to grab yourself some Max Power from Rev X Products there, and they have a full line of oil and fuel additives there. There's going to be a link in the description down below, and they keep the lights on for this shit show that is a freaking podcast or something. So let me grab my cord here, and let's call Eric here and at least get a few words out of him. FaceTime audio Eric here. See if he picks up here. What an absolute shit show. I apologize to everyone. And there he is.
How's it going?
Brought to you by Alias MX. Eric Grandal. Dude, you would not believe the night I'm having right now. It is.
Oh, boy.
It is unbelievable.
The amount of technical difficulties this year has been pretty crazy.
Well, this is what happens when you go from doing stuff very simply of like we have an audio recorder and one camera to having 3 cameras and a mixer and everything else in between. Like literally tonight, my guy in the corner was like, hey man, I'm not going to make it. I'm having some car troubles, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. Luckily he was just down the road. So I go to set everything up and I'm like, where's the software on the computer to live stream and everything is not showing me the video mixer thing. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go down and get him. I'm like, hey man, I need you to come fix this real quick before you finish working on your car, because his cousin lives like right next door to me. So
yeah,
I grab him, bring him back. He's looking, he's like, yeah, dude, it's not finding it. I don't know what the hell is happening. Well, come to find out, like, apparently there's issues going on right now with Mac not wanting to talk to Black Magic products or something. So, so my computer doesn't want to talk to the video mixer. So finally I'm like, screw it. Okay, no problem. We'll just record it old school. We'll record it on the camera with just the audio mixer, but I've got cords going everywhere because now we've got like a studio set up. It's a real pain in the dick. And now I'm locked out of my computer for 5 minutes because it doesn't want to accept my password, so I'm not sure what's happening there. This has been quite the day. So, Eric, how's your day been going? Eric Grandal, brought to you by Alias MX.
My day's been pretty good. I was up at our camp in Maine for the week. Just last week before our son goes to soccer tryouts, so we were getting our last little bit of vacation, I guess.
Nice.
And yeah, just kind of decompressing and just relaxing, having some fun. I had some buddies up. We did a little mini cycling camp for our big race coming up. And pissed off some some northerners that are like, what the hell is a road bike?
That's awesome. Now when you say camp, like you're rolling the camper up there, so you got the Alias MX billboard rolling through?
I don't have a camper anymore.
Oh, are you like tent camping, or you bought a cabin?
No. My family got a cabin. It's right next to my my grandparents. They just passed this year, and they had a house up there, and my dad bought the house right next door to them. And we're keeping the whole. There's only 2 houses on the road, and we're keeping it in the family. So
gotcha. Good call.
We love going up there and just kind of, definitely thinking of them while we're there too.
Yeah. Well, see, I also camped this weekend, but, like in a fucking tent. Not a...
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Not a
that
mansion.
That sounds miserable.
Let me tell you. So we go to a pretty nice campground, the Yogi Bear campground, over by Lake Michigan here. And it's a big homeschool thing. Like, there's a whole group of us. I think we had, like, I don't even know, 30, 40 kids and all the families there. We take up this whole area, this campground, and it's super nice. Like, all the amenities, there's a pool and everything. So it's great. We're not out foraging in the woods, let's put it that way. So it's not bad. However, this year I did take my enclosed trailer, like we loaded everything in there and took it because we could park it at the spot, which has air conditioning and everything. And so doing that, I was like, yep, I think it's time to buy a camper. Like, this trailer situation is pretty nice here, and if I didn't have to go out of this trailer and get in a tent, would be even better. So, yeah.
Yeah, the camper thing, just be ready to keep reaching in your pocket to keep getting it fixed.
Dude, yeah, I know.
I worked it out to where the amount of time we actually use the camper for, versus just renting one for when you need it.
Okay.
The upkeep a year based off all the shit that's gonna break and you have to fix and take care of and all that, and even just registering it up here, it's literally cheaper to just rent for the amount that we used it.
Well, but you had a Class C, right? You didn't have like a trailer one.
It was a Class A, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
it wasn't a trailer. It was a toy hauler.
Yeah, so that's a little different than, because like if I buy a trailer here, Michigan's got permanent plates, so I would only pay registration and plates once for it, and then
that's nice.
And then that would be it basically, and then after that, then yes, upkeep and stuff like that. I don't know. Let's put it this way: I sent her about half a dozen the other day that I was like, the payment on these things really ain't that bad. Like,
yeah,
seems pretty low to me. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, all right, let's talk some moto here. I know we only got you for a few minutes because we had difficulties here. So, bro, let's talk about your boy right off the rip here. Let's just what's going on with your boy? Is he banged up again, or like what are we dealing with here?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but yeah, that was a pretty unfortunate way to crash. That's for sure. I mean, your front end locking up off the face of a jump. I couldn't think of much worse happening, honestly.
No, not at all. And then just getting up, and now you're whiskey throttling your way out of it, and it was yeah. That was a terrible situation. It was
impressive the amount of times he tried to keep getting it up and going.
Oh
honestly.
Yeah. Anybody who was throwing shit at him for leaving his bike on the side of the track there, he tried. Like he tried.
He tried like 4 times.
Yeah. He gave it.
He was just like, fuck it.
He gave it way more attempts than I would have. After that thing spun out the second time, I'd have left it right in the middle of the track and been like, fuck this piece of shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But on the uphand here, my boy Jet just checked the box again. Another title.
Yep.
One at Dilla. I mean, this is what happens when, Superman shows up here. This is what we get to.
Yeah, no, he had a great season. You can't really take anything away from him.
What did you think of that beatdown yesterday with Shimoda over Deegan?
Dude. I mean, in my head, I feel like Deegan was more nervous to have to race against those dudes on a 450, damn well knowing he's not ready for that.
So he threw the race? Hold on, your conspiracy is he threw the race?
He threw it, but I think he was feeling the pressure of, hey, if I win today, I'm racing 450s next weekend, and everybody is convinced that he's going to go out there and battle Jet, and I think even he knows he's not going to do that right off the rip.
0 chance.
Yeah, 0 chance.
He doesn't ever beat.
Jets lap time. I know they're on a 250 versus a 450, but 5 seconds a lap. You don't get 5 seconds a lap by jumping on a 450.
No, zero chance.
You might get a second a lap.
Have you seen any of the videos of him riding the 450 in the off weeks?
I've seen a couple, but
he's
everyone.
He's wringing the neck of that thing still too, and if he wrings the neck of that 450, it ain't gonna go well.
Good. They're not meant to be ridden like that.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see how that translates, because he might just be doing that for Instagram purposes. You never know.
Yeah, that could be,
because people do, like, I've got a couple people around me that don't really know a whole lot about riding in moto, and they're like, oh my god, he's so sick, he's gonna destroy Jet, just by like these videos of him riding a perfectly smooth track and just holding a 450 wide open. I'm like, dude, literally anybody can go and do that. Like, that is, I'm sorry, but that is not impressive at all.
No, not at all.
It just looks cool, and people just freak out because it's Deegan.
Yep, I agree 100%. I was watching some of those, and I was like, dude, he is ringing that so hard. That bike is so bound up underneath him. Like, there is zero chance this goes well.
No, definitely not.
Do you think, do we see him in Supercross on a 450, or does he really wait until outdoors?
If he's smart, he'll wait until outdoors.
But I kind of go with the Daniel Blair theory of like, well, if you keep saying you're going to wait, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, we're just going to try it, and you just keep shrugging your shoulders and go, well, we're just going to learn. We're not really here to win. We're just going to learn. Like, I feel like that's a better play. I feel like that's a better play.
Is.
To just go, well, we're just here learning.
It doesn't really scream their MO, but
I mean, they kind of did it when he came into pros, because it was he wasn't. I mean, look at that. He flopped the Futures race at Anaheim 2, and then shows up at Houston the next week, and they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna. They just were shrugging their shoulders. We're just gonna give it a shot. We're just gonna give it a shot. So we're just here to learn.
Like their whole attitude coming in versus now is a bit different, though.
You notice he hasn't been talking a whole bunch of shit recently, right?
Yes, I have noticed that.
You think that's oh, we're gonna I
think they're dialing it back for when he goes to 450.
I think so too. Because I think it was a fun idea on paper of, I'm just gonna run in and talk a bunch of shit, but as soon as my pecker gets slapped in the first two motos, it's not really gonna work. So
Yep.
So that's
no. Joe was unbelievably impressive this weekend. That's what we've wanted to see from him all season long. 40
seconds that first moto.
Yeah,
like that was unbelievable.
Yeah. That is nuts. Like, we know that Deegan wasn't going all out, obviously. I still think Deegan didn't have anything for him.
Mm-hmm.
But because 40 seconds, like, you don't just get 40 seconds by accident. Like,
no.
And it's not like those other dudes were right on Deegan. Like, they were another 10 seconds behind Deegan.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
So it's like, Shimoda just put 50 seconds into the rest of the field, which is absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, a couple more quick things here before I let you go. Number one, have you heard of any farewell parties for Vial moving back to Europe?
I haven't, but I did hear, like, I don't know, like a month ago that he signed with HRC.
Okay, all right, good. So we're on the same page there. I just wasn't sure, because he raced Southwick and then said can't wait to be back on a 450, and we all kind of scratched our heads and went, that's weird.
Yeah.
Do you? Here's a fun one. Does Prado move over to KTM next year?
I fucking hope so.
For a bonus only contract, from what I hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna change anything really.
No,
I mean, maybe,
no.
but I don't see it changing a whole lot, especially not in Supercross.
No. And we got
I just don't like what he has to be just quitting.
He
Like,
was yesterday. Did you not watch
maybe
that?
he's just purposely doing terrible so that Kawasaki will want to get out of the contract. I don't know.
Well, the crazy thing is, did you follow that whole saga last week? So Steve dropped that tweet last week about something big happening or however it was of like an orange and green rider or whatever. And then Daniel Blair tweeted something, and like I got it sent to me, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like, Steve doesn't usually tweet out complete BS like, some people do, but at the same time, I'm like, this sounds like way too far out there to be a thing. And then all of a sudden I start seeing like a video from Michael Lindsay talking about that, yeah, KTM said that they had a conversation. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause. These teams are openly admitting, and then like Steve on his show on Monday is talking like, yeah, I talked to people at Kawasaki, and they're like, well, we kind of told him if he wants to leave, he can leave. Wait, pause. What? Hold on. We're all being way too open about this for this not to be an actual thing. So
yeah, I kind of see that happening because if you're Kawasaki, why do you want to why force somebody to be there that very clearly does not want to be there?
Oh no,
does not think that he can make that bike work. And the sad part is Sexton's going to go there and just absolutely embarrass Prado for making it all about the bike.
Yep. 100%. 100. The whole Prado experiment here has been a total and complete shit show since the rip. Like, literally since the rip. And like the craziest part of all this that I heard was that the only other guy, big name guy, who isn't signed right now is Kenny. Like, Kenny's supposedly staying with Hep, but supposedly there's no pen to paper. And Kawasaki's going to have an opening.
Wait, I thought Kenny did resign.
That's not what Lewis said on Monday on Pulp.
Huh.
He kind of put it out there and everybody went, what? Of like, the only guy who isn't actually signed, like pen to paper, is Ken Roczen. And if this whole Prado to KTM thing works out, there's an open spot at Kawasaki.
Yeah, but that won't happen because of Red Bull.
I mean, that is a thing too. I don't know. I've heard crazier things.
But I'm pretty sure Kenny signed like a lifetime deal with Red Bull. I feel
that
like
I
I
don't
remember
know.
seeing that like years ago, back when he signed like his big Honda contract for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost positive he signed a lifetime Red Bull deal.
I don't know. That would be wild. But again, here we bring up the fact that Lewis Phillips actually put it out publicly on the Pulp MX show there. I went, oh man, there's something there. There's something. Because again, he's not like us where we'll just spout off whatever at the mouth. So
right.
All right, last thing before I let you go. MXON team, how confident are we feeling here?
I mean, we got to be pretty confident, right? Like, it's pretty much it's the best team we've got. Like, I mean, the only thing I might, call me crazy or biased, whatever, but I might put RJ in instead of Tomac. Because Tomac's been so hit and miss, RJ's been consistent.
I'm not against RJ, but I might put RJ in instead of Chase.
What?
Just because I don't believe Chase and KTM are getting along.
Yeah, but I mean, Chase was making that bike work until the friggin' front end locked up.
What track is MXON at this year, Eric?
It's at Iron Man.
Exactly what just happened at Iron Man.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll friggin' figure something out so that the damn thing doesn't pack with mud and lock up on him again.
Are you sure? Because what they actually said was that the rear did it, and he had no rear brakes going off there and hit the front brake going up the face because he came in too fast, and they had that rear brake problem 2 years ago already.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know.
So, look,
I don't know.
all right, I mean, when they announced the team, I kind of went, like, Deegan, okay, whatever.
Is Chase not just going to hop on his Kawasaki?
I heard that him and Tomac were going to stay on their current bikes for that race.
Yeah.
That was what I had heard. So, I don't know.
I mean, that makes the most sense. They would have 0 time on the other bike.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Depending upon how the playoffs go, we may see Chase on a green bike come Iron Man, but
that would be insane.
But that's a big maybe. Well, it'd be even more insane if he goes out there, just goes 1-1, and then looks at Prado is just like, what?
You still think it's the bike?
You still think the bike sucks, bud? I don't know, man. I got a real working theory going on here that, like, if we see a few of these other, because I've heard a whole bunch of stuff in recent weeks about the MXGP series having some major issues here, and a bunch of guys coming over, and if those guys come over and it doesn't go well for them either, I have some big questions about MXON and how they've dominated us at that for the last however many years, and like what that really means. Because, yeah, there's
another conspiracy theory.
Not really a conspiracy theory, right? But you just look at, you've got the 2-time MXGP champ. He's a 4-time champ, right? Because he won 2 MX2 titles, and he comes over here and he has fucking nothing. Like, literally fucking nothing. And, okay, maybe it's the bike, but that bike is not is not a minute 50 worth of time. Like, I'll give you half of that. I'll give you 45 seconds, okay? The other 45 is you. And I know Hurlings came over in 17, and Hurlings was in his prime, and Hurlings was the fastest man on the fucking planet as far as motocross went. And look, Tomac was fighting for a championship, and Tomac went with him until it didn't happen there for whatever, and then went, okay, I need to win this title instead. But we never really saw straight up battle like that. Now we've seen a straight up battle here for an entire season. And guess what? The MXGP riders were not better on our tracks, on our schedule. Now we go to their tracks, and with their schedule, yeah, they're a lot better. And, like, when they come over here, yeah, they're a lot better when they come over here for MXON. But why? Because they changed the tracks, and we have to run by their rules. And so, yeah, if we play in their sandbox with their rules, they're really fucking good at that. But when they come over here and play in our sandbox with our rules, it's really weird how it's not, like, great. Now, we'll see, because you've heard the same things I have. The Coonins are possibly going to come over here. Who else have I heard here? What's his nuts there on the Fantic? There's a possibility he's coming. I can't think of his name right now. Yes. I've heard he really wants to come over here, and he's talking to maybe Hep or something for an outdoor deal. I don't know. And I've heard, obviously DeWolf wants to come over, and I don't remember who else. There were a few others. The GPs are struggling, but I've kept you way past what we said. I apologize. We had technical difficulties there. So I thank you for calling or for answering here and allowing us to speak a little bit. Hopefully you'll be available next week and we'll be on time and we can make stuff happen.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, buddy. Hey, by the way, I'll text you about some gear later.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yep, love you, bye. All right, Eric Grondal, everybody. Really appreciate that. We should have had him for a bit longer there, but we had so many technical difficulties here tonight. It's been unreal. I came off a camping trip with the family, which, again, members, I apologize. That's why we didn't have a Thirsty Thursday. It's been a long couple weeks. Next week, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programs here because my week will be completely normal. We had, as I just explained to Eric and all of you, technical difficulties between our camera setup and our computer and everything else in between. So that's it. So welcome to show 316 here. Again, we had Eric Grondal brought to you by Alias MX. We got Rev X Products bringing you the show and presenting the show. Also on board with us here, Worx going to be bringing you a 450 race recap, which we'll go over here. We have Flo Racing going to be bringing you the 250 race recap. We have our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report coming up. Holster Co. Reload Rant. We are going to have, let's see here, Holster Co. Reload Rant, We don't have a Rev X segment. Also on board with us, though, we got NANO XTREME. I don't know that we'll have a painful take because I'm here by myself, so it'll be weird for me to say that we have a painful take. And then we have Adept Creative Co. on board with us, also helping us out with all of our graphics needs. My name is Travis. I'm your host. I want to thank you all for joining me. Members, hopefully you're enjoying this prior to it going up publicly, because that's what I'm going to do, because we couldn't do the live stream stuff. I'm going to actually edit it, upload it here, and get it rocking and rolling to you guys here right away. So, without any further ado here, let's get rocking and rolling. 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Worx. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. Make sure to check them out if you live in the Southwest Michigan area and you need some exterior home modifications, specifically gutters, but they do all sorts of stuff on the exterior of your home. So, 450's Jet Lawrence goes 1-1, secures his second 450 motocross title. And I mean, what can you say, man? Just a man amongst boys there. Went out yesterday, got the dub with the 1-1 after losing 2 overalls in a row. This is what this guy does here. And as we said, then they talked about a lot yesterday. Who knows if we're going to see him for long enough to beat all these records or anything like that. But while we have him, man, this is crazy. And I'll stand by. Good luck to Deegan to beat him, man. Because this guy is just... I mean, you look at that second moto. He passed 4 dudes in 2 corners. Like, you just don't see that. Even Weege on the broadcast was like, dude, let's talk to the only other man who ever could even think about doing that. And he's sitting right next to me, like... That's Stu speed, but under control. And it's unreal. And it's unreal the stuff he does. And it's unreal just how well he actually rides. And I'm not going to go on a 45-minute glazing train here with Jet, but homeboy just gets it done. And now we'll go into playoffs here, and we'll see how this goes, because he's not coming in as the number 1 ranked person for playoffs. I don't think that matters. He's good at these playoff races, but we'll have to wait and see. And speaking of that, then you have Hunter goes 2-2 for second overall. And again, man, just unreal. Like, he was so good. Now, I'll tell you what, he was giving it to Jet there. That second moto, he was trying to get by Jet. He didn't, but he was trying. And again, I think Hunter has a very, very nice career here of literally being the 2A guy for Honda or for Jet, basically for as long as he wants, man. The guy is just the guy's unreal too. He's so much better than everybody else, and it's really cool to see. And like I said, I think he is better when Jet's there. It would be interesting if for some reason Jet wasn't there, to see where he's at now, because I do feel like he's taken a step since last year. Again, I felt like he went with Jet on a lot of stuff, and then as soon as Jet was out, then he was kind of like the second best guy to Chase, but he was really battling Chase. Now he might have that next step. Does he? For sure, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but I hope not, because I don't want to see Jet out anymore. Tomac goes 3-3 for third. That was a good day for Tomac, dude. I mean, as he said, he doesn't understand why that track doesn't work well for him, because it's such a wide open track, and he likes wide open tracks. However, he just never seems to do well there. So, but I mean, 3-3 for third overall, you can't really ask for much more of a guy that is doing what he's doing and of the age that he is. I mean, he was ripping, dude. He was absolutely ripping. So, you see Tomac pull off a 3-3 right behind the Lawrence brothers there. Like, I'm not upset about it. and to get to watch that legend ride and battle with these guys, it's great. RJ having an absolutely breakout year, and I cannot wait to see them actually have some time developing that bike next year with him. Goes 4.5 for 4th overall. Fantastic day. Again, as me and Eric just talked about, kind of the only guy I could see swapping out any of the guys for the MXON team with, because he's done so well on this 450. Justin Cooper goes 6.4 for 5th. Just quietly there, man. Going to go into playoffs, number 1 seed. Only guy outside of Malcolm Stewart to race every single race this year. Hell of a season, hell of a year. Glad to see he's got a contract for next year. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about Justin Cooper. Dylan Ferrandis goes 7.6 for 6th. That's a good ride for him. Stu goes 10.7 for 7th. Another okay ride. Barsha 9.8 for 8th. New York boy there. But, again, this is kind of where Barsha is, which is why I think he's getting... Him and Dylan are getting a Ducati deal, because I think Ducati's coming in right now with just we want to get our feet wet and be in the top 10 type deal, which is the guys they're signing. So Kyle Webster comes back from overheating last week to go 8.9 for 9th. So that's cool. I'm honestly amazed he's not riding a 250, because he's got to ride a 250 for Nations. So interesting that he's riding a 450 here, but he'll be here next week also, so we'll see. Valentin Guillo goes 11.10 for 10th. Dude's having a hell of a season. Hopefully he finds a ride for next year here, so he can stay here like he wants to. Cody Schock goes 12.11 for 11th overall in that battle for 20th place here in points. Grab this here. Hit that panic button there. Prado goes 15.12 for 12th overall. And as we just talked about with Eric, dude, he's given up. He has given up. And I don't believe he wants to be at Kawasaki anymore. He doesn't want to ride that bike. He doesn't want to be around that team. It will be very interesting. I do think, and I put out a video, so if you want to watch that, that's on the channel here too. I do think he is going to probably end up somehow finagling a deal going back to KTM. Now, whether that's a bonus-only deal or not, who knows? But I think come 2026 A1, you're going to see Jorge Prado on a Red Bull KTM. Does that make him 12 spots better? I don't believe so. I believe you're going to see him still run around maybe top 5s outdoors and probably top 10s in Supercross. So it'll be a little bit better than what like this was. But I mean, to watch a champion like this just give up is a really sad state of affairs, in my opinion. Like, I understand it's hard. I understand the bike's not working for you or whatever, but to just watch you roll around and give up, like, bro, just get banged up during the week and like, we'll see you next year. Like, because this is sad to watch. And like yesterday, he went whole shot to 15th yesterday. Whole shot to 15th, which is un-effing believable for a 2-time world champion on an outdoor track. Whole shot to 15th. It's unreal. Kenny goes 5.38 for 13th. I don't know what happened that second moto there. Rolled off, obviously, shaking his arm and stuff. I'm sure we'll hear this week something happen, or he was riding slowly off, so I don't know. Maybe tweaked that ankle, maybe tweaked his arm. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see there. Michigan's own Mitchell Harrison goes 14.14 for 14th. Again, he's trying to hit that top 20 spot for playoffs there in the battle. Lorenzo Lucrucio goes 13.15 for 15th. Patcherell goes 16.13 for 16th. Shane Sins, a.k.a. Shane McElrath, goes 19.16 for 17th. Roman Pope goes 17.19 for 18th. Henry Miller goes 18.20 for 19th. And rounding out your top 20 is Michigan's own Marshall Welton going 39.17 for 20th, which Marshall changed teams, so I'm not really sure. I'll have to look into the exact thing of changing teams. I know he went from the Gizmo Mods over to some other Yamaha team. I'm not sure what that's all about, but whatever. Other notables here is Joey Crown from Michigan goes 38-37 for 39th, but at least he's making motos, so that's great. And that's pretty much all I got for 450s there, right? So we're basically set. The title's done. We'll see what happens with Jet next week. Does he win? Does he not? I don't know. The title's over with. As he said, check the box, pressure's off, whatever. So maybe he wins. Maybe he wins by a lot. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see there. So that's been your 450 race recap, brought to you by our friends at Gutter Works. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. And with that, we will move into our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. And Complete Racing Solutions this month, we're going to highlight our the Coach Rob members area, where you can get the same protocol as multiple Loretta Lynn champions this year. And Coach Rob and the team over there have 419 amateur titles and 4 AMA Pro #1 plates. And if you want to get the same workouts and et cetera there as those riders, well, then you can go to Complete Racing Solutions. They have everything from quick workouts. They have the Coach Rob bot. You can actually talk to Coach Rob. Like, there is so many options on that website. Make sure to go check them out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. There's going to be a link in the description down below. Now, let's go here. Holster Co. Reload Rant for halftime here. Let's rant. Okay, so Aaron Plessinger comes out. He is sick. Obviously, he's not racing. He goes on a whole rant about internet doctors, and they don't know what's going on, and et cetera, yada, yada. And that's fantastic. And yes, we all don't know exactly what's going on personally. Now, he says he got a sinus infection. He was trying to ride through it, and he just couldn't ride through it. And here we are. He doesn't have Epstein-Barr. He doesn't have any of that. Okay, fine. Here's the thing. The guy that you train with is notorious for overtraining people. Period, full stop. Now, I don't have a problem with Alden Baker, but I know the history. I've heard guys talk who've been through there. Like, overtrain is a thing with that program. That program's not for everyone. And so, yes, maybe this wasn't overtraining this time. Maybe this wasn't a Epstein-Barr case this time. But there still was, in my opinion, and again, I don't have anything against AP either. This was a thing of, if you're paying that much money to a trainer and you are sick like that, aka you have whatever, your trainer should be, hey man, just go rest. And like forcing you to rest so that you don't end up in this situation. Because you know what's worse than coming out and going 15-15 and saying, well, I've been fighting off this whatever, so I haven't been really training during the week or whatever. You know what's worse than that? Not racing. That's worse than that. So this is where, like, Coach Rob talks all the time. Like, dude, these trainers have no actual responsibility to the riders, right? And it's a big, big problem. Like, if they overtrain you and you cannot ride, then sorry, you're just fucked. And if your contract stipulates that you have to ride X amount of races, but you can't because you're overtrained, because you have Epstein-Barr, whatever the fuck AP's got going on or whatever, then you're just fucked in the ass, and they don't have anything. They're not giving you your money back. They're not out money for the contract. They got paid by you. So this is just something where, like, I believe trainers in the industry need to take more responsibility for the actual health and wellness of the athletes themselves. Coach Rob does that, which is part of the reason why Coach Rob is blackballed from the industry, because the industry kind of doesn't like that. They want him to be a yes man to the teams, which is that rider needs to be in peak physical form, and if he doesn't have whatever, If he can get on the bike and ride, he needs to be on the bike and ride no matter what. And so it just creates this huge issue. And this has been going on for years, and it'll continue to go on. And the light is starting to shine on it a little bit, but not completely. And yeah, so that's been my rant. Sorry, I'm not a fired up rant this week like I have been in previous weeks, but that is the rant currently for what we got going on. So other things in the halftime report here, we kind of talked about the Prado rumors here again, of him possibly going to KTM, and there's a whole big thing with that. Again, I made another video. We talked about it with Eric. I talked about it here on the 450 recap, so you guys can find that. The MXGP of Sweden, I just watched that there. Geyser came back. Not a great day for Geyser, and an even worse day for Lucas Kunin. Because he ended up 8th and Fevra won, so gave up a bunch of points. So that close points race they kind of had going has now spread back out a little bit. Be interesting to see with however many rounds. I don't know how many rounds they got left to go. I only follow it through the highlights, guys, so don't come at me. But either way, Kunin's had an incredible year over in the GPs. Let's see here. Anything else I can think of here? I don't think so for the halftime report here. We got playoffs coming up. Obviously, Justin Cooper going in as the number 1 seed here. I don't know. Deegan's going to go in as the number 1 seed in 250s there. And yeah, I guess we'll just have 250s to basically talk about. So that's been your Complete Racing Solutions halftime report there. Sorry, I'm not more prepared. I thought I was going to have a co-host here. There was a bit of a mix-up with things. I couldn't find anybody to fill in, so, we're just here doing it. Look, we're putting out a show. I still got to film a race reaction here after this, so if you're watching this, the race reaction was filmed after this. So, anyway, with that being said, let's jump into our 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Flo Racing for all your mini bike needs there, and big bikes if you are so inclined. But they specifically focus on mini bikes, 50s, 65s, 85s, 125s, super minis. They can help you out with all that. All sorts of parts and knowledge there on the website, proflowracing.com. Make sure to check them out. And speaking of that, Scott's bringing me a P-Dub frame tomorrow. So 250s here. So Shimoda just comes out and dominates, man. And this is the Joe Shimoda we kind of have been thinking we were going to get for years. So it's weird that he is just now showing up and really showing us this, and has been throughout the whole year. Now, does this carry over into next year? Because there's a lot of talk about, when we, especially with us idiots in the media, when we get to next year, Joe's going to have to be the guy. And it's like, but is he? Because we've done this for years where we thought he would be the guy, and then we get there and we're like, oh, he's not the guy at all. So I don't really know. He's riding great right now. Let's put it that way. And I think this could really make the playoffs interesting. And how wild would that be if Deegan wins Supercross, wins outdoors, but then doesn't go 3 for 3 in SMX playoffs? That would be real wild. But Joe, I do believe, can do it. Joe's the only person who has, giving it back to Hayden, basically. And Hayden hasn't even been talking shit about him, which is super weird. It's super weird that he hasn't thrown any daggers at him currently. Will that happen? I don't know. Deegan goes 2-3 on the day here for second overall. I want to, use the clickbait headline of he choked. I don't think he choked. I just think it wasn't his day. And I know you guys are going to come at me in the comments now and be like, oh, he didn't choke. Well, I didn't say he choked, okay? Some days just aren't your day. Yesterday just wasn't his day. Plain and simple. It was not a typical Deegan day. And if an off day for Deegan is to go 2-3 in the 250 class, well then, okay, he's going to be fine. He's still going to win this title next week. It would take quite literally an act of God next week for him not to win this title. He would literally have to go 20th for 20th overall, and Joe would have to go 1-1. So, do I see that happening? Not really. Deeks can get a top 10 without even trying, crashing a bunch of times. But at least it's coming down to the final round here, so we'll see. Vial goes 4-2 for third overall. Winding down his career here in the U.S., man. That was okay, but he was so distant. Second moto wasn't as distant, but he was still distant the first moto. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he does in GPs next year. Let's just put it that way. Hammaker had a great day, dude. As he said, one of the few times he's been or the only time he's been there and hasn't hit the deck and had a DNF in either moto. He goes 3-6 for fourth overall. Fantastic day. Good in qualifying. Good both motos. Like that was a great day for Seth. And with the health things he's dealing with here, which I'm not 100% sure what they are, so I'm not even going to try to speculate here, because the last thing I need is more people fucking pissy on the internet about speculating about health issue stuff. But, I mean, that was a good day. As far as I'm concerned, that was a really good day for Seth, and we just move forward here going into playoffs, and he seems confident going into playoffs, which he should be. He should be. You got no whoops. It's not really outdoor stuff, so it should be good for him, and we'll see. I mean, the 250 playoffs could be really interesting here. Juju goes 6-4 for fifth, which is a good ride for him. A really good ride for Juju. Marchbanks goes 5-5 for sixth. Last year he went 5-5 for fourth, so just the opposite direction here. He's supposedly re-signed with PC. No one wants to talk about it. Whatever. We'll see when we get there. But I do believe he's staying with PC, which is good. They should keep him. There are some other guys there that I think we should let, just go by the wayside. But Marchbanks is not one of them. Jordan Smith goes 8-9 for seventh. It's a very Jordan Smith day. Ryder D goes 11-8 for eighth. I'm going to be honest. There's not a whole lot to talk about in this 250 class once you get outside of the Joe Schmoda thing. Schmoda and Deegan here. So Nate Thrasher, 13-7 for ninth. That's a very Thrasher day. Levi Kitchen goes 10-10 for 10th, dude. The Levi Kitchen experiment this year is just fucking terrible. Like, homie is not performing to expectations, and if we get to next year and it looks like this too, without a big crash, then there's a problem, man. There is a problem. Now I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to see what next year brings, but right now I'm just like, this ain't good. This ain't good at all. Caden Dundee making his pro debut, goes 7-13 for 11th. That's not bad. Running up front there, both motos. So that's good. He's going to ride this week and next week, and then he'll go back to amateurs for the SMX playoffs, and I think next year we're getting backed up here with amateurs and stuff, which is why you see a lot of these kids moving around, trying to go to different teams to get somewhere. Ty Masterpool made a comeback and crashed. Goes 9-20 for 13th. I didn't know he was coming back. That was kind of a shocker to see him. So whatever. And of course, as soon as they show him, he crashes. Ty Masterpool experiment was a complete waste of time this summer. And here we are. Lux Turner goes 19-11 for 14th. What a set of moto finishes and an overall, man. Weird. Drew Adams, fastest qualifier, which was weird, but cool at the same time. Good for him. But then in the motos, just couldn't do anything. Goes 18-12 for 15th. Okay. Faulkner had a real day at going 17-14 for 16th. Maybe he crashed. I'm not sure. Matthias Bosrame, sure, from France, goes 15-18 for 17th. Dylan Schwartz goes 14-38. Yeah, he had to crash that second moto. 14-38 for 18th. Avery Long goes 27-15 for 19th. And Brody Conley from New Zealand goes 16-21 for 20th. Dax Bennett, 28-19 for 22nd. That is not going well either. But I believe he's moving on to Husky or something here after this year. Cole Davies comes back, goes 23-23 for 26. I had heard through the grapevine that he is definitely not as good outdoors as he is at Supercross, and that's very apparent there. Let's see here. Jack Chambers had a big one that second moto, so hopefully he's okay. Jace Kessler from Michigan made the second moto, had a DNS 33 for 39th. And Michael Mosman, God, I hope he's okay. I watched a scary video of him trying to get up and regain his consciousness there after he wadded himself into the ground. He goes 40 DNS for 43rd, so hopefully prayers to Mosman there. Hopefully he's okay. And with that, your 250 race recap brought to you by Flo Racing is going to be wrapped up there. And I know we haven't had a super duper long show, and I apologize, but like I said, I had plans of having a co-host. Those obviously did not materialize, so I was here by myself. So I'm kind of making this up as I go along, but we're still going to put a show out. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Eric for jumping on for what he could. Apologize for all of the technical difficulties. We should have these figured out by next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks to our members there. Members, hopefully you're enjoying this early here because I'm going to upload this as an early release for you guys, and then I'm going to do the premiere on Tuesday as per normal. With that being said, this has been show 316. Thanks to Rev X Products for presenting the show. Thanks to Worx. Thanks to Flo Racing. Thanks to Holster Co. Thanks to Complete Racing Solutions. Thanks to Alias MX. Thanks to Adept Creative Co. And thank you to NANO XTREME. We'll be back next week for the final round of the 2025 Pro Motocross season from Budds Creek. We've got we've got Denver coming in for that. Denver was on last year. And, and then we'll roll into playoffs where I believe Justin and Cole will be back. So with that being said, this has been the Moto Aftermath Show. I'm Travis, and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning into the Moto Aftermath Show. If you guys like the show, make sure to give us a thumbs up there with that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a show update, a live show, or anything that we're doing here, because when we find out news, we will be on here bringing you our thoughts with it. Also, if you guys want to help support the show, join our members area. You'll get member exclusives, including live shows. You get to watch the show being recorded live, and you'll get all sorts of other member benefits. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Join the members area, subscribe. We'll see you all on the next one.